Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. This is Doc Hertz. Oh, let me get this back on over here. Excuse me. We're doing our live video. Welcome to Doc Hertz. Let's see, can we get this going on? Waiting for the live. Mm, waiting.
Honestly, too young of a guy.
Okay, we're all right. Let me turn the sound down. We're live.
Yeah, hurry up, crank it up.
Hold on. Hold on. What's going on? Let's get it
No,
on.
hold on. No, ain't no hold on. Crank it up.
Okay, let's see where we at. Get the audio down. Okay, we're gonna get this YouTube channel. Let me turn that back down again. We're gonna get this thing together, and we're gonna have a great time once we get everything going. This is our first called Night Talk, and you see a little sign on the face that says "Living Your Destiny." Also have a little cash app signs and stuff. So you want to, you send a donation to help our channel so we can get better equipment and continue on and move on. And we're going to be talking at different times of a situation that's going on in America, in the world. We got a lot of stuff happening in America. It's happening in the world. Amen. And maybe what's happening uh in your area. And also we have Mr. Izzy on the line, as you heard him up there talking about cranking up, getting it on. And so, Mr. Izzy, you'd like to tell the little audience hello, if you would?
Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? All is well, I hope, with everyone. So everyone have a good and great night, and I hope all is going well wherever you're at in the world. And just stay informed, subscribe, listen in, talk, chat, send a comment, any type of information to be of assistance. So I'm ready to talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about.
Okay. Now, many of you, if you don't know, amen, I'm a pastor first, man of God, family man, also businessman, and a lot of other things I delve off into because I stay busy. And Mr. Izzy's the same way. It's my son. I also have, other sons and other people, other members, and everybody got something going on, multiple things going on. But what I want to talk about is the direction and what we're going to be talking about, because there's a lot of things that are happening. For us, we have an election coming up, we have sports that's coming up, and even current events that's happening in our local communities. And we want to talk about the topics that you want to talk about. So what we recommend that you do is come to our station, hit us up in the chat, tell us what's on your mind and what things you want to talk about. And but I'm gonna say something that's kind of going on currently. There's a guy, a young rapper. He was 26 years old, and I think he got killed maybe yesterday or the day before. But he's called Julio Fulio, and I've been watching him for a minute when I first started hearing about him and seeing some of the different things that he participated in. And now he is a dead rapper, lost his life. So, Mr. Izzy, are you familiar with him?
I'm basically familiar with him. I've just been watching a little bit of his clips recently. I just know he's a Florida rapper with a lot of interesting perspectives on how he felt about life. And so I'm actually just learning about him right now in 2024. So rest in peace to that young rapper. So
Yeah, he was out here, and I came across him by doing. There was a big shooting in the Florida area, and he had went on these graves and was called it his ops, and just listened to him. And it was called a drill rap and the diss raps, which many of us are familiar then from the Chicago area, and how it had infiltrated down into the Florida, I think Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, Florida area. And there was so much killing going on and so much disrespect. And there was a big hullabaloo about it, getting to the point where when people died, that people were disrespecting them. and well, going to grave sites and ridiculing the people, calling it that I guess taunting people, and there's nothing more hurtful. Sometimes many people tell you, I don't mind when you do something to me, but when you do it to my family member, then that hurts a little deeper. So with all that going on, there's a lot of people now that they're glad that he's gone, but somebody else seems like they're gonna probably take up the mantle. But something eventually is gonna have to get stopped with all of this internet beef that starts, and how it perpetrates the violence, it perpetrates the ignorance, it perpetrates the anger, it perpetrates the death and the murder. Because when you provide an every avenue for people to fight back and poke at each other, that's what comes out is violence. They kill somebody you love, you kill somebody they love, and now it's shooting up the grandma's house, shooting up the niece and nephews. So it's always a lot going on with these, and not just gang culture, but life as we know it. Anything you like to add on that, Mr. Izio?
I think I'm just speaking the same sentiment. Let's just there's so many wide spectrums of this whole society of hip hop and how it's connected with murders and shootings and just there's a whole lot of pure violence, and there's so many people from different aspects who need to be held to a higher standard because there's profits involved, there's monetizations, there's people such as podcasts who commentate and they give their analysis and pick sides, and there's even these what do you call them? There's social media crowds who comment and fans of certain one who keep it going. It's a media circus, and the media needs to take it down the same way that they would on any other platform of just sheer death, violence, and chaos. But with these platforms of live streaming and going live and just doing whatever, just in the same manner, this guy, Indian Red Boy, who as he got murdered was just being live streamed. I think that everyone needs to be held accountable, from the immature young people to the people who are elders who are allowing this stuff to make it to the world and just for the world to watch the death, destruction, and murder. So I just hope that from the top to the bottom, one of these days it's going to be more of this conversation. One day the conversation will be a reality, and I just can't wait for that day that this society will have to, everybody's going to be responsible. We're not just going to point the finger at the artists. We're not going to point the fingers to fans. The whole system is a witness to these murders. And I've never remembered a time like this in life where maybe like a first 48, this is kind of like what it is. We're watching live murders of people getting shot, killed, and dying. And it's just become almost a sitcom nowadays. So that's my take on it.
Okay. Well, I think also what's coming up is July the 4th, and especially in the state of Louisiana, is going to be a breakthrough, not just because it's July the 4th, but a new law is going to go into effect, which is going to have people, if you're 18 years or older, you will be allowed to have you'll be allowed to conceal carry a weapon on your body in Louisiana. If the gun is yours and you're 18 or older, you will have that right in this state. And also the states that are contingent to it, like Texas and Alabama and maybe Arkansas, some places that have the same laws, you will have the right there too, because they are concealed carry states. So they have to abide by your laws, you have to abide by their laws. So it's going to open up a Pandora's box for people who have concealed guns of being 18 years old. And also, when you look at Louisiana, which has probably the largest prison population, I would think, per capita in the United States, in I don't know if the world, but I know particularly and such high murder rates. What do you think about we're about to go into now with that, Mr. Is?
I think we're going to go into a place of uncertainty, but these are the choices that people are making. So I guess the best thing to do is find your understanding, talk to your family, and just try to get them prepared because now that it's already a dangerous society, but now that you're in public, this is another layer of uncertainty that you have to be aware of. And you just have to communicate it, figure out how you're going to live your life, protect your family and loved ones to the best of the ability that you can. So that's kind of my take on it, especially by me being in this situation in Louisiana, is that, you look for guidance, understanding people who you value their opinion on how to walk through this life in new society and new laws because it's going to affect you. So that's my personal take on it.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going. Well, I'm not going to say I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm pretty sure nobody does, but I believe it's going to have a counter effect where I think the average person may think, "Oh my God, it's going to be the Wild West," but I actually believe it may curb some of the violence because at first, yeah, we're probably going to have incidents of shootings, but what I think it's going to do is people who are maybe felons and want to break the law, knowing that the average citizen isn't armed, it's almost give them like they may not have a problem if they run up to a car and confiscate somebody's car while they're committing a crime, or run into somebody's house, or being in a store and just robbing people. Where when you have the majority of the population that's over 18, probably having to conceal, I think it's going to deter a lot of that because now the public is going to probably fight back. And I think it's going to be a real turn to where it's the people who are just going to be criminals, who are going to be a felon, going to commit felon. You're going to have the public more is going to be armed. So they won't be necessarily having to wait for the police to come. You got to make a phone call, get 911, get somebody out here when the average citizen may be walking around that's armed. It's going to change the dynamic. That's my belief. And we'll see with that. So that's some of the things that's going on. But there's a lot of things getting ready. Y'all finna have what you call it? What's the name of that thing y'all having in New Orleans?
We'll have the S Festival. I'm not sure how many years it's been, but it may be going on. Don't quote me on this. Maybe 30 years of it being in New Orleans, and they're gonna have a big anniversary of music and celebration and culture, and basically essence for women of color to go to their seminars, go to their conference, which is for free if you guys are interested. So if you're into anything as far as from hair to nails to books to arts, magazine, literature, food, culture, you name it, this is the weekend of the 4th of July to come out, celebrate, stay hydrated, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And if you're there, I should hopefully be around there. So I'll be probably hosting an Airbnb. So that's all I'm looking forward as far as the 4th of July weekend coming up.
Okay, so the Essence Festival is going to be the 5th, I believe, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that's probably also right after the 4th of July. But as Mr. Izzy just let you know that you'll be able, if you're interested in an Airbnb that he can connect you up with because of the accommodations. I mean, we'll be able to make that available to you, or we'll be able to direct you to the Airbnb website. So, Mr. Easy is involved in that, and he's got a real good thing for you but we're going to see as it turns out. You'll be able to probably go directly to the website, but we'll be letting you know as it goes on and give you a little more information. We may drop a couple of pictures on his Airbnbs, amen, that he can connect you up with. And I think it's going to be an awesome thing for the city of New Orleans. And so I can't wait till I get down there. So we're going to let you know about this coming up. So just mark it on your calendar. And then any other things that they're going to be having in New Orleans between now. I mean, you got the Super Bowl. We got the French, the next year they're going to have a Mardi Gras. It's going to be so much going on. And you want to go a place where you can be hosted, especially a place where you go down there and where you can have parking. You can also have, your place kind of to yourself with your own, maybe not stuck downtown with the big buildings and, a lot of the festivities that never stop, And so you'll just be surprised of what good Airbnbs can do for you. And Mr. Izzy will be able to put you in contact with the right people if you can, or give you the information when you can get it. Because we know that a lot of things are going to happen and you're going to be real busy with what's going on. So connect you up with who you need to meet so that you can plan your trips, or you may just want to take a time off during the week and you have somebody who can give you that connection that you can get that spot for a very reasonable price and have you a great time. And so there's going to be a lot of benefits. We'll list them all. So we want you to know about that. And what else is going on? We see Caitlin Clark been doing a thing. Her and what's the girl name that played her?
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Yeah, they had their little shootout. What do you think about that?
I think that this is good to see competitiveness. It's good to see that the WNBA girls are they're getting attendance. I think the key is going to be just to continue to get growth, continue to stay competitive. I think it's much needed, much deserved, and I'm hoping that the WNBA could find a way to market more stars. I hope that the WNBA does not oversaturate their fans, as they're very new to really supporting them. I hope they do not oversaturate the fans with Caitlin and Angel Reese, because yes, they're talented, yes, they're good players. But one thing we know, if you watch sports, we see all the time that when you get caught up in one person, that an injury could happen at any time. And when that happens, the team morale can change. The fans who once bought tickets either don't show up or they don't come, and plus they make just certain accommodations for certain people. So I'm saying all that to say this: the WNBA, those two players, is in a good place, but find a way to market more people. That's my viewpoint.
Okay, and also with that, with sports, we haven't even got to when football season comes on. I know we're going to try to do some broadcasts with the Philadelphia Eagles and Birds of a Feather. Yes, we're going to be on this year. We're going to be doing some announcements and some criticisms and critiques and our evaluations on what we think about it. And, we are 100% in on Jalen Hurts. Yeah, get ready, because that's gets me excited with that. Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles this year. Get ready for a Super Bowl. That's what I want to see. Anything you'd like to share about that?
That's what I'm hoping to see as well. I'm very supportive. I'm behind it. I'm just I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. The Super Bowl is in New Orleans, and there will be nothing better for me to see Jalen Hurts on that field for the Super Bowl, as it's in New Orleans. So that's what I'm expecting, and anything less, I'm not expecting it. So, but at the same time, hey, I'm gonna let life be what it's gonna be. I'm feeling very thankful and grateful. So I'm excited for football. Let's see what it's gonna be, and Jalen, keep doing your thing, and we're gonna be rooting you on, and we're in his corner.
Okay. Also, want you to know that we're going to give you an opportunity for those of you who want to invest in real estate, Hertz Real Estate Investment, and we want to give you an opportunity to see what you can do to get into this real estate market and understand what it takes. And maybe you want to invest in a real estate and a commercial property, and so we'll be able to partner with us and make some things happen. You may be interested in some multifamily units, apartments, or single family units, and we'll let you know what it takes to get it done, and maybe give you an opportunity so that maybe say next year be able to come on in and partner with us on some real estate investments. And the reason that we say next year, because you got to realize with investments, especially properties, this is something you really want to take your time, do your homework in, and make a good, solid investment. Because many times when it's, hey, come on now, you got to do it now, you got to do it now, you may rush into something that's not all of that. It may be more risky. And so therefore, when you kind of take your time, a slower investment, use a more safer investment. And some things we need to talk about investment when you invest in property. And I think I'm going to say this. I don't know if I need to say it, or do you need to say it, Mr. Izzy, because it's something that I told you a while back concerning investment in real estate. Would you like to share that what I told you years ago?
Is it about the principles of business or
yeah, about investments?
Well, the best thing that helps with to be realistic, because there's a lot of scams, there's a lot of con artists, and there's a lot of people, even when you got good intentions, they can't deliver. So one of the principles that was shared to me that I always try to keep in mind, and I keep it with me, is to have good expectations, but to keep it tempered, is that no matter what you do in business, be prepared to lose it and be prepared to not make nothing. Because what we don't want to do, we never want to put false information and say that, hey, you could put up $500 and you're going to be this mogul, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. We're honest men. We don't get into business to sell people hope. And I think that's what you're talking about, but I'll let you further elaborate on it.
Yes, because that's one thing in business, and I've been in quite a few businesses, and I realize that there is no business that is 100% proof. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a Dow Jones, a stock market, whatever. Anytime you invest in a business, there is a possibility that you could lose whatever you put in it. And when you tell people, oh, this is a sure thing, I guarantee this and that. Listen, you've had big stock companies go down. You've had Sears go down. You've had major companies over years go down. People who invested, things happen. So when you're being honest, you let people understand the truth is that, listen, you invest in this, you could lose your money. But what are the chances? What are the odds? They go down. But when you're trying to run a scam, and that's nothing worse than not people being informed. So the key is that when you go in business with somebody, and I remember years ago being in a lecture, and they were saying this, it's like a marriage. Now, how many marriages work? Realistically, being in business is a partnership. It has to deal a certain amount of trust, certain amount of confidence, and a certain amount of work ethic to get it done. And when you understand that you want to get a fit of that person, you don't want to be, can you imagine being in business with somebody who's always arguing, fussing and cussing and acting a fool? And this is what you're going to have to deal with all the time. I mean, I don't know about you. Maybe some people like that. That's not me. I want to be with somebody who's even-minded, even-keeled, even-temperamented. And guess what? If the deal doesn't work right, and seems something you can deal with, then you walk away. I believe you have business, and there's no need for us to argue about anything, because I've been around people in ministry and business. I do not argue with people. Matter of fact, the only thing I may argue with, and he's on the phone with me right now, and that's my son. And when we get through arguing, it's so funny because I love to argue with him sometimes, but it's all a laugh. It's not nothing serious. Never is. Never is. You know what I mean? So we banter, but never an argument. And I don't want to be in business, and I'm not in business with people like that. because I don't need it. Now, some people thrive on it. That's what they do. That's how they talk, not me. So with that being said, getting you some principles about business, and we're probably going to have maybe a seminar, maybe the middle of maybe 6 months from now. So we'll see, and we'll just give people an opportunity to get ready to go into the real estate business with people. Look, I've been a broker, not a broker, but I was a real estate agent. I had studied for my brokership, was right at the door to get it, and did all the tests. And all I had to do was go down and take the test. But what I realized at that point in time, I said, okay, I had enough knowledge and information and experience that I felt like I really don't need the broker, because I wasn't going to stay in the brokerages concerned of the real estate market. I'd rather just go into the real estate market as far as investing. And so I required the knowledge that I needed and understanding to do what we're doing now. But that's just a part of what's going on at God Vision Ministry, and even with the website that we're creating and things we're going to be talking about. And also, too, we're going to be talking about this presidential race, the candidates, who we're going to vote for, what we shouldn't vote for. And many of you may know the book that I wrote, and we'll be talking about it, is Black American Descendants of Slavery, Housing Reparations. And I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but this is a book that I wrote. And we'll be also talking about that when we come to New Orleans, and we'll start talking more about the real estate investment, understanding about reparations and where we sit, and everything that's going on. But other than that, Mr. Easy, I think we want to probably be putting our finger on just about everything that affects us in life. We went through some loss of family members, a grandson, a grandmother, and also friends and family, ministerial friends, pastors who passed away, and loved ones and acquaintances over the years. So there's a lot that goes on, and everything touches everybody in a certain way. And we want to be talking to you about it. And so we'll be doing a lot more shows. And like I said, though, for what you want to talk about, we'll talk about it because we live it. Anything else you like to share, Mr. Izzy?
I think that I've covered all the things I would like to share tonight. So I'll pass it back to you.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you get an opportunity to text us, send a message, let us know things you want to talk about, and we will be getting with you so that we can, talk about things going on in life, what interests you. And also we let you know about our church, our ministry, where we're having different events going on. We got a convocation coming up in Baton Rouge. I believe it's on the 11th of July in Faith City International. We'll be there live, and I'll come back and I'll do a little spot. And I will also be taking a video and splicing it up and showing it so we can talk about what's going on. So many of you can meet us in public, or have a personal contact with us as we go on to do what seems to interest the people. So living your destiny, Doc Hertz. Send a love offering to help us to keep the cameras rolling and keep things going on. And with that, we're going to say shalom, shalom, shalom.